So about 5 or 6 weeks ago on December 15th, it was 2 days after Democrat Doug Jones defeated Republican Roy Moore in that Alabama special Senate election. I did a story that we called Democrats Should Target Ted Cruz in 2018. Cruz, as I've mentioned, is one of the most vile Republican senators in the United States. There's that angle. There's the angle of these sort of demographic shifts that are taking place in Texas, and there's a number of movements that are trying to turn Texas blue. A lot of interesting reasons to maybe look at 2018 as a good year to target someone like Ted Cruz, who is running a Senate reelection campaign. And there's a new poll, and it's admittedly a Democratic poll, which has incumbent Republican Senator Ted Cruz leading the Democratic sort of front runner. It hasn't been a primary yet, but the Democratic front runner to face Ted Cruz is Beto O'Rourke by only 10 points, according to this poll in Texas, with 18% of the electorate undecided. Cruz is ahead by only 8 points, 45 to 37. Now, again, it's a Democratic poll from a group called End Citizens United, which is a campaign reform group. There's a contrasting poll. It's an internal one from Ted Cruz's campaign. And usually these internal polls are the most favorable to the candidate. Remember, back in the 2012 presidential election, Mitt Romney, we learned, was totally shocked by losing to Barack Obama on election night because he was heavily focused on these internal polls that his own campaign was doing, and they did not reflect reality. So there's an internal Ted Cruz poll that has Cruz ahead by 18 points. So the Democratic poll has Cruz ahead by 8. The Ted Cruz poll has Cruz ahead by 18. That's a 10-point swing from one poll to the other. So what can we be sure of? We can be sure that this is an uphill battle. It's not going to be like the Alabama special election. This is not a special election, first and foremost. And unlike in Alabama, the Ted Cruz's candidacy is not the candidacy of an accused serial child sex assaulter, right? Whatever Ted Cruz has in his background, it's at least not public. So it's a very, very different situation. It has been 30 years since 1988. And that's the last time that a Democrat won a Senate election in Texas. And Cruz has been in this seat since 2012. But it's not impossible, right? If Ted Cruz has some kind of scandal hit in the next few months, anything could happen. So I think this is an interesting race.
Yeah, maybe if he starts liking more porn videos, more
Right.
voters in Texas will turn against him.
Yes, or you mean being hacked
Oh,
on
right.
Twitter.
There was a staffer or
It was,
something.
yeah,
It wasn't
that's
him.
the official story. What can you do? Well, you could donate to Beto O'Rourke. Actor and David Pakman show fan John Leguizamo announced that he has been donating daily, $25 a day, to Beto O'Rourke. You can get involved in the campaign if you're in Texas, or even if you're not. Eventually you would be able to phone bank after the primary, but you've got to vote, right? And to participate in the primary in Texas, you need to register by February 5th. That's coming up. The primary is March 6th. And then to vote in the November election, you have to register by October 9th. So still plenty of time for that. I don't want to pretend that this is some easy seat to turn from red to blue, but the significance, if it were to happen, would be monumental. And if we believe the Democratic poll, where Beto O'Rourke is down 8 points, let's call it down 10 points to be more conservative, 9 months to go. That means he needs to make up about 1 point per month. It's not impossible, but you've got to start working on it now.
And it's a U.S. Senate seat, so that's important in and of itself.
Yeah.
But it would also mean the end of Ted Cruz's political career.
Oh, it'd be
conceivably.
huge in many ways.
And that's a big deal.
It counts as a Democrat in Texas. It counts as one of the 100 Senate votes in the Senate. And just getting rid of Ted Cruz is absolutely fantastic. It's something we should all aspire to. And Beto O'Rourke also has the right positions on many issues, right? He would be an asset in the Senate, pro-choice, wants stimulus spending, wants more science teachers in school and funding for them. He's strong on the climate. He wants citizens automatically registered to vote and to end voter ID, aka voter suppression laws. Point of it is, this is one of many interesting races that you can get involved in. All 435 members of the House are up for re-election. 1/3 of the 100 senators are up for re-election. So please get involved. That's the main message from me. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month. And every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.